How come they didn't do anything then? So obviously it is a political agenda. So there begs the question, is Shawna Forde a murderer? Is she a fall guy? Is she both? Or is she even responsible for carrying out the actions and plans of her handlers, which happen to be, once again, our federal government, who, of course, is going to be the people prosecuting this? So, I think it goes much deeper than, did Shawna do this or not?
Well, you just actually admitted the possibility that Shawna might be innocent. Very good,
I don't
Christie.
believe she
Thank
is.
you.
I don't believe that. I respect that right of yours and about the free speech and First Amendment, which is why we're hearing both sides. But no, I'm not going to say I believe that. No.
No, but you admitted the possibility. That was good. I like that. Thank you.
I accept that other people might think that, and that's cool. I'm not here to judge, but it is not even close to being my opinion, just to make that clear. But like I said, I think I made it very clear. I think there's a lot more going on here. It's not just about this case. It's about all of the other cases. I mean, come on, look at Oklahoma. Look at JFK. All of we face this, Randy Weaver. The list goes on, and we only have a minute left before the next break. But
I'm glad that you drew that parallel.
The feds are using your tax dollars to go around committing crimes, and they're only going to prosecute the ones that serve their political agenda, which is why they did nothing 2.5 years ago when I witnessed these murderers at the border, okay, because it didn't suit their political agenda. All right, now it does. Now they have the MAIC and the hate crimes and all of this other stuff. So, yes, she is definitely being used, but I'm not going to buy that she's innocent. So.
Listen, Christie, I'm glad you mentioned the OKC bombing, because you and I both know that it was perpetrated by the government to break the back of the militia movement.
Every
I know
crime
that.
Against humanity was perpetrated by our government, yes.
And Shawna was busted to break the back of the Minuteman movement and to break the militia movement. Once again, the militia is starting to get strong, and all these people who denied that Minutemen were militia, they're full of crap. It's not a neighborhood watch. I've been saying for years it was a militia. And Shawna was busted. This whole thing came down to break the back of the militia, to beat American citizens up and make them feel like they have no power against their government.
All right, it's that time again. We're going to take a short break here. We're going to be coming back for the home stretch here with Lane Lawless on Truth Brigade Radio. Listening to Truth Brigade on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. This is the last segment with our guest tonight, Lane Lawless, talking about justice for Shawna Forde. The website, once again, is justiceforshawnaforde.com. Russ has one more comment, and it looks like Chuck has something else to say. So I got you. Russ, are you there?
I am. Thank you, Christie. Lane, government agents, I'm not necessarily saying that these particulars are on the payroll, but there are major indications that at least 2 of them are mind control victims. And then there's this 4th party that was communicating with Shawna. We will see as this whole thing progresses out. My bet is it never gets to trial, and it is forgotten about in 2 months, and the whereabouts of these 3 will not be known because they are government agents. And mind control agents are expandable. They are considered a commodity no more than a hat or a pair of boots in the battlefield, and it is nothing to our government to expand them. So we will see, but I can guarantee you from all that I know about this, it is a setup, and its whole purpose is to aggravate both sides. Thank you, Christie. Thank you, Lane.
All right.
I'd like to speak to that a little bit, because when he talks about a setup, I want to say something about this. This is a point that's really important for people to understand, is that there are a lot of things about this case that are odd, and it seems like a shake and bake case. We have got legal people on our team. I'm not a legal person, but there's, for example, the stuff that was released to the media. There's a period of 12 days where there's absolutely nothing in the media package of 150 pages that talks about anything leading up to Shawna's arrest. Shawna's arrest is not referenced in this information. Bush's arrest is not referenced in this information. There's absolutely nothing in there
there's funny business going on, without a doubt. But in the interest of time, let me ask you this. Let's say it does go to court and she does get a jury claims that she's innocent. Now, is that going to be enough?
Enough for what?
I mean, is that basically the goal of justice for Shawna Forde to, have a jury proclaim her innocent? Or would you still look further into some of the possibilities that Russ and even I mentioned tonight?
Well, I hadn't thought about the things that you mentioned. I wasn't aware that Minutemen were killing people on the border, and I'm not convinced that they are.
Lane,
I need to see what you know.
Come on. I sent those videos out long ago.
Are you talking about when Little Dog faked it?
It was just posted with Minutemen who were there talking about why they were so afraid to tell the truth and, oh, forgive me and blah, blah, blah. Come on, I'm not buying that. We have 3 minutes left. Chuck is still on the line and he has something else to say. So if you're there, Chuck, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here. I suppose it is possible that some Minutemen have probably killed some Mexicans on the border. I don't know. I couldn't prove it one way or the other. I didn't see it, so I don't know. But I do know that it was a drug smuggler that shot at me that night. That me and Sean and two photographers were down at Sasabee. And it was about 10:30 at night, and it was dark. We couldn't find the guy. There would have been a legitimate gunfight. The political side of this is absolutely ridiculous, I think. What is the political value of killing a 9-year-old girl? I mean, killing a drug dealer is community improvement. But killing a 9-year-old little girl, there's a private investigator named Carlucci up in Seattle, Washington, who's been following this case extremely closely. Shawna contacted him when she first started Minuteman American Defense to help her through the legal process of getting it set up. And Christie, if you'll call me later, I'll give you his contact information if you'd like to talk to him. I just got off the cell phone with him. He is listening. I hope, I'm like Lane. I didn't really mean to cause a bunch of problems, Lane, but I hope this is just a great, big, giant nightmare. But I don't think it is. I knew Shawna. I was with her on the border. I knew what her agenda was. It was an alternate agenda to normal Minutemen operations. She bragged about being involved with Minutemen, getting involved with cartel with Joe Adams and his recon team. I mean, she made big noise about this. That's no secret.
And Joe Adams went around the border bragging about his connections to the CIA and the cartels. So none of this. Everybody who's been down there knows of these claims.
Joe Adams may have left a few carcasses on the border.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, let me ask you, Chuck.
I'm sorry, not carcasses, corpse.
Yeah, let me ask you this.
That wouldn't surprise me any, but
exactly. So we have 1 minute left.
I don't know any Minuteman.
You won't get a word in edgewise with him, Christie. You might as well forget about it.
Chuck, we have 1 minute left, so let me ask you, do you believe they are guilty or innocent?
I think Bush did the shooting. I think Shawna did the planning, and I think Gaxiola was the man that found the house and made it all possible.
And do you think Joe Adams is one of the guys at the top calling the shots?
Well,
in your experience, and
oh no, he sure did disappear in hell, hurry.
Yeah, it's interesting. He disappeared, isn't it? Amazing.
Well, he sure did. I asked about him by a Pima County Sheriff deputy what I knew about him, and I was going to send him Joe Adams' website, and there wasn't one.
Yep, well, I just noticed that myself. Fortunately, though, we did PDF it when I did this show a year and a half ago. Anyways, you can run, but you can't hide. There definitely is more to this story. It's not just about Shawna and Jason and Albert Gaxiola, but, it's just amazing to me. Look at all this conflict that the feds are creating with your tax dollars, and that's what I think is important to note. And be mindful when you join organizations, because it's not just that organizations are infiltrated. They are actually created by the very same people that created the problem you think you're fighting against in the first place. And I think this is a very good example of that tonight. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you all for listening tonight. And I hope to see you tomorrow night at Truth Brigade Radio.